Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Bayou Breakdown, and we're joined as always by Jack Tune. And Jack, it's been a minute. I think last time we spoke was when Derek Carr signed with the Saints, which was a few months ago. But how are you doing?
I'm good, man. That's true. It's been a while since Derek Carr signed. I think Saints fans are feeling pretty good right now, frankly. So I'll echo that sentiment.
Yeah. So we're talking about another signing right off the top. A familiar face, someone who I assumed was retired. I don't know about you, but Jimmy Graham is back with the Saints on a 1 year deal. Give me your thoughts.
I hate to say it for Nolan's legend, Jimmy Graham himself, but I also thought he was retired. I thought he had played his last downs in the NFL. He kind of bounced around, right? I think it was Seattle, Green Bay, Chicago in that order after the fact. And of course, I followed it because I was a huge Jimmy Graham fan. Um, But to kind of give a perspective on how long it's been since Jimmy has not been with the team, he and Michael Thomas never played together. And Michael Thomas has been a Saint for essentially what has been pretty much his entire career, which is already waning, right? So kind of crazy to think about. We have a guy in Jimmy Graham who was an elite part of that Sean Payton, Drew Brees led offense for a long time. Um, and now it's cool to see him back in the black and gold. They've already done the photo shoot. They've already signed the contract. It was a nice little surprise for us, I think, this Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely surprised because in preparation of this, I was looking him up and I had assumed, remember the touchdown against the Saints in the playoffs that just ended the game and it was kind of like a pointless touchdown, but it was a really
Yeah.
nice catch. I was like, that must have been Jimmy Graham's last play. But he
Right.
came back for another season with the Bears. I think he got hurt from what I was looking at, and then he just didn't play last season.
Yeah.
The I guess 2 years ago now is the last time he played, but 3 years ago now is the last time he was like pretty
Relevant.
decent.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for Jimmy Graham here?
I don't know. I don't know if this is a vibe signing, to be honest. Like a team brings back their player, a la Dodgers Kike Hernandez, for example, in the Major League Baseball. But when it comes to when it comes to this, I don't think we can really expect a lot of production from him. Maybe just like a lot of football savvy, maybe mentor Juwan Johnson, right? Like maybe just kind of help the young guns get up to speed. I don't really foresee him being. I mean, I don't know the details of the contract, frankly, the price or anything. And I have to assume it's not very much considering his age and considering, again, he was out of the league last year. Um, I think it'll be nice to see him in there for a couple chunk plays, maybe like Taysom Hill style plays where he's in there and it's like, oh, Jimmy Graham's lining up in the slot, like something along those lines. Um, kind of like when the Celtics played Blake Griffin, right? For example, like there's all these like vibe guys essentially that get put out there, and I feel like Jimmy Graham is going to be a vibe guy. Like feeling good, Jimmy Graham's back in the black and gold. He's likely going to retire after the season because we all thought he was retired anyway. Um, and that's what I get from this. I think it's a nice signing because everybody was really upset when he left, right? When we traded him to Seattle now, almost 10 years ago, which is crazy to think about.
That
Um,
is so crazy to think
yeah.
about.
So the fact that he's back again, I think, is more of a feel good story than anything. Kind of Mickey Loomis righting a wrong, quote unquote, as he said in a couple of press releases, like maybe his daughter will finally forgive him. Um, it's kind of where we're at, I think, and I think that's an appropriate way for Jimmy to end his career because I don't think um, I still have a Jimmy Graham jersey somewhere. Like I'm a big fan of his. I'm happy to see him back.
Yeah, I mean, what the perfect one would have been bringing him back for Drew Brees' last run,
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
short of that, it is nice. And of course, Jimmy Graham very famously got the dunking the
A slam
ball over the
dunk.
goal post outlawed from the NFL.
Sure did.
Um,
Real quickly.
so I think he broke too many or like knocked too many down during, but an iconic celebration, and hopefully we'll at least get one. I don't know if he'll fully do it, but like the pump fake up, like, oh, is he gonna do it? Is he not?
I'd
We'll see.
oh man, I would die for that. Or even if he does do it, just like, I'll eat the fine, whatever. I don't
Mhm.
care,
Right.
or game suspension, something like that. He's like, I don't play anyways. Like, let me
Mhm.
let me get something here.
How
That'd be
electric would
awesome.
it be,
Oh,
Superdome against like one of the division rivals, and like he catches a touchdown and dunks the ball? That the
I
Superdome would go crazy.
I would lose it. I don't care where I am. I would lose it wherever I'm at. That's insane. And you're planting the seed, Brian, so it better happen now. I'm
Better,
gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna
Jimmy.
DM
If you hear
Jimmy.
this,
Yeah, exactly.
you gotta do it, man.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Oh man. All right. So some depth here. Let's talk a little bit about the depth added to the guard position with the signing of Trey Turner, who I believe just yesterday was released
Yeah.
by the Washington Commanders,
Yep.
who are going to apparently rebrand again. Um, this will be what, four names in like
In like 3 years,
seven,
4 years. Yeah,
whatever.
something crazy like
But
that.
yeah, so Trey Turner, a former Pro Bowler, I think like 4 or 5 time Pro Bowler,
Mhm.
and he's only 29 years old. What are you expecting out of this? Is this just a depth signing? Just give me your thoughts.
I think this is kind of a depth signing or maybe a kick the tires, honestly. Like, let's get our first dibs on this guy who obviously at one point was something really special. I think as a Pro Bowler, right, it's nice to have anybody on your team who's a Pro Bowler, frankly, whether they're a couple years removed or whatnot. I think, yeah, probably just good to have some guard depth. That's what it comes down to. Our O line is relatively shaky as is, so nice to have someone in there who maybe can help again mentor the young guys, mentor or get a couple snaps in there, eat up some minutes. I think that's what it comes down to, frankly. I think is either that or if he's no good, let's at least kick the tires, see what he looks like. Maybe can help the young guys out, if nothing else, during training camp, right? Get some money, you know, goes on his way type of thing. But I feel like he was just released, right? I feel like he's probably got, like you said, he's 29. He's probably got some tread left on the tires. So I think a good signing overall, even if it's just 1 year. That's cool. Let's test it out. If he
Yeah,
likes it
see what
here, if we like
happens.
him, yeah, exactly. Keep him up.
And like you said, the Saints O line's a little shaky. As a fan of a team who has a perpetually shaky O line, you can never have too many O linemen on the
No,
roster. Like
absolutely not.
it's such an important position now, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what he brings to the table for the Saints.
Me too.
Um, Going forward, we're at training camp. It's all happening, Jack. We're here. What's the early word out of training camp for the Saints?
Early word is that everyone's looking good. I mean, unsurprisingly, right? That offense is kind of it's loaded right now if you think about it, right? Again, I Derek Carr is a nice signing, obviously. Um, Maybe not like the best QB in the league, right? But he's probably top upper half at the very least. Maybe you could
I
say
would say
top
an
10.
underrated. People
I
are hard
agree.
on Derek Carr, and I don't understand it. I think it comes from fans who maybe aren't aware of how bad it can be at the quarterback
Yeah,
position. But
right.
Derek Carr is a damn good quarterback.
I think he is too. I think he's the best quarterback on the free agent market this offseason, right? And I think the Saints got him. I think that's a win. I think also that he was under Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas, who is notoriously just like not a good head coach, right? Just whether it be a vibes guy or like running an offense guy, frankly, unless he's under Bill Belichick. I don't know what's up
Yeah,
with that.
and just Vegas in general has had just real fucked, cursed vibes the last few
For
years.
sure, absolutely. And then, I mean, ironically, we brought in Gruden anyway to help kind of get that going down here. That's fine, whatever, it's fine. Dennis Allen also was
Just don't
previously the
don't
head
read
coach
his
in Las Vegas.
emails, and it's fine.
Yeah, no, we didn't give him a Saints email address, so nothing of that's coming out, which is nice.
And
But he
Dennis
should
Allen
figure it
was
out.
in Oakland. In fairness,
That's a good
so
point. That's a really good point. So we're vintage now. That's fine. That's in the past. So that's even better, right? Well, actually, Dennis Allen drafted Derek Carr in Oakland, right? I think there is like a good understanding of okay, this is what we're trying to do here. We brought in Gruden, who understood and unlocked quote unquote Derek Carr in that Vegas offense. Um, he's looking good from what I've seen, right? I've seen that there's a really good connection between him and Olave, which is exactly what you want to see from a year two guy. Um, I think Olave is going to be elite this year. I think it'll be really fun to watch. And then obviously that's even easier to do when you have a deep threat like Rashid Shaheed, who really came out in the last half of the year, and Michael Thomas if he's healthy, right? I guess I feel like we say that
we
every
can
year,
hope.
and then
We can hope.
like week two he stubs his toe and he's out for the season. So um, kind of tough to decide that. But that said, I mean, I don't know. Like there seems to be a lot of just solid depth pieces that are probably not going to get as much playing time as they might like Traquan Smith being one of them. Um, Jawan Johnson is probably going to be the top tight end if I had to guess. But then you also have Taysom Hill trying to eat up some minutes. You have um, what's his face? I'm sorry, Jimmy Graham trying to eat up those minutes as well. So it's kind of tough. I think it's going to be for what it's worth. It's loaded. And I didn't even touch on the running backs yet, right? Between Jamal Williams and Alvin Kamara, that's gonna
I
the
know it's gonna be
NFL's touching
good.
right. It's gonna be sweet. And then we drafted Kendra Miller in the second round, right, or
Yep,
third round. I think second round. But like cool draft and stash guys, super like hit or miss. I would say we drafted Kamara in the third round, and look how he turned out. So
pretty good.
um, pretty okay, I would say. So
Yeah,
I mean, just a lot of firepower on that offense. And then of course we have those big guys like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Honey Badger, those guys on defense. So, I mean, it seems like it's just another really good team. Mike Thomas is tweeting good vibes only. Like, I could go on a rant about this for a while. It feels like this could be a special season because the NFC South is so weak, right? So weak.
Yeah. I mean, we've been hot, and obviously it's a little bit of homerism, because
For
we
sure.
cover the Saints, so and they're your favorite team, so we're gonna
100%.
want them to go far so we can talk about them and have, the good vibes. But I think this division's super winnable, and like the
Yeah,
Saints are one of those teams that could, you know, get in the playoffs, maybe win a couple games. Like who knows?
for
So
sure.
we'll see what happens there. All right. Anything else about the Saints that you want to touch on that we didn't get to yet?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think we're looking real good. I'm excited for it. And like you said, was it 19 days now before we have a preseason game?
Yeah, 19. They're starting with the Chiefs on the 13th. Not that
Awesome.
that means anything. I very much doubt Patrick Mahomes will be in a uniform, let
Same,
alone playing.
same.
So,
We'll see Jameis
uh,
Winston take some snaps most likely at quarterback, but that's fine by
yes,
me.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, we've been,
Big
on
Jameis
the
fans.
Jameis,
Big
yeah,
Jameis stands.
train for this whole show ever since we started it. So, always happy to see him playing. And I saw the meme. Someone made a meme of him getting hurt versus him in the locker room after that game when
Oh, with the crutches.
he's
Oh my God.
dancing up
Yeah.
the crutches that I saw yesterday. For some reason, it came up on
I'm glad.
TikTok.
That's
It
fine.
was
I'm
like
glad that it's
such a
still
funny
alive.
moment.
It is. Oh God. Good, great locker room presence. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm so excited. You know how much I love football. I'm so
Of
excited to talk
course.
about
Of
football.
course.
I mean,
Me
I
too.
love basketball too, of course, but football is my real love as far as sports goes. But yeah, other than that, later today we got speaking of basketball, a at the buzzer coming out. Where we're going to talk a little bit about Jalen Brown's new contract for the Celtics and all that's happening with the NBA. And other than that, Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Brian.
So see you all in the next one.